Assalamu alaikum. I am Adila Noshin from ComSat's Institute of Information Technology, Islamabad. I have done my Masters in English, Linguistics and Literature from National University of Modern Languages, Islamabad. I did my MPhil from International Islamic University, Islamabad in Applied Linguistics. I have worked with Higher Education Commission, HEC, from more than 2 years as a project manager of English language teaching reforms project. There I got exclusive experience of organizing teacher training programs. I have also organized continuous professional development programs for the capacity building of ComSat's teaching faculty. Currently, I am rendering my services to ComSat's Institute of Information Technology, Islamabad as a lecturer in Humanities Department. I am going to take care of Essay Writing and Presentation Skills course, ENG406. And I'm going to be with you throughout the semester with 32 lectures, and I'll be conducting this course with my devotion. During this course, we will try our level best to overcome every problem that you face during the essay writing and presentation skills. ENG406 is Essay Writing and Presentation Skills course designed only for you to develop knowledge of essay crafting skills. Now, essay crafting skills is something that you learn. Skill is something that's an ability to be polished. Now you are going to learn this skill, polish this skill. Maybe there is some hidden quality within you that you are going to polish with the passage of time. Presentation techniques that second thing that we are going to discuss in this course is going to be the presentation skills. I will tell you the different techniques, different strategies, different ways how you can improve your presentation skills and how you can be a good presenter in front of everyone. These two things, writing skills, especially essay writing, and then presentation skills, both of them, they are going to be very, very useful and relevant for your future programs, whatsoever you are going to apply for, whatsoever field you are going to apply for, whatsoever career you are going to apply for. They are going to be beneficial and they are going to be very, very useful for your future career fields. Now, there are some learning outcomes that I have in my mind and I want you to learn them too. Now, after successfully completing this ENG406 Essay Writing and Presentation Skills course, all of you will be able to write the variety of styles, variety of essay styles. Today we are going to see each one of them one by one, and I will try my level best to make sure that you are going to learn each one of them. I will be able to describe them to you so that there is not going to be any problem once we are going to have proper sessions on them. So the different types that I have written here are narrative, descriptive, expository, persuasive, and there are so many others that we are going to discuss and that we are going to have during the semester. Then secondly, you will be able to write for a variety of purposes and audiences. Now, I hope you understand the word audiences. Audience is something that is your target group of people whom with you are interacting to, or maybe that's your student, maybe that's your teacher, maybe if you are writing a paper, maybe if you are writing a research proposal, anything. Your audience is focused, that is specified. So you would get to know that how to write a variety of writing styles, how to apply them and how to write them for different people. So this is how, or this is what we are going to learn in this course. Thirdly, you will be able to apply the writing process. Now, writing is not something that is coming in mind and you are going to write it randomly. Writing is something that you do, the proper writing, the formal writing is something that you do and that you learn. So this is what we are going to make sure that you are going to learn all the writing steps. It involves pre-writing, writing and rewriting. We are going to discuss them thoroughly, and we are going to make sure that you are going to learn them thoroughly in this semester. Then you would be able to demonstrate basic grammar and sentence skills in writing. Now, we will help you learn the different varieties of grammatical structures. We will help you understand the differences between longer sentences and shorter sentences, how shorter sentences are more useful than the longer sentences, and there is some sentence limit, then there are word limits within the sentence, and so on and so forth. So we are going to discuss the paragraph writing, and we are going to collect all those paragraphs to make them essay writing. Then coming up to your presentation skills, we also have the features of, and we also expect all of our students to learn everything about presentation skills, how to present yourself to the audience, how to present your product to the audience. Now whatsoever field you would be going in after doing this degree, you would be able to see that what kind of career you are going to choose. According to that career, you would be asked to make different kind of presentations. Now those presentations will be the your personality analysis. Now you are not only representing yourself, but you are also representing the company. Maybe you are representing the organization. The way you represent your family, once you are out of your home, you are representing your family. So this is how we are going to see that how you can overcome all the barriers in communication, all the verbal and non-verbal gestures they come in, how you are going to avoid them in your day-to-day conversation. Then we are also going to see that how to self-edit and write, how to redraft your own writing. Now that we prefer in early school that students, they are fond of creative writing, and they are welcome to write variety of things in a different ways, so that we can check that what is in their mind. But when it comes to the higher level, that is the university level or maybe the college level, the graduate or the postgraduate level, we try our level best to see that the students, they learn how to write an edited version. Now this edited version is your formal kind of thing, formal report, or maybe let's say a formal essay that can be narrative, that can be descriptive, that we are going to see during our semester. Then you would be able to critically evaluate a variety of reading passages. Now you are going to see that how you are going to develop your critical skills. Criticism is something that can be positive or that can be negative. Now negativity is something that helps you overcome your flaws, and positivity is something that helps you polish your positive things towards anything. Now this critical appreciation of something, maybe you are asked to read an article and give your comments on them, maybe you are asked to write an essay and then the others are asked to critically evaluate it. Now this criticism or this critical evaluation is going to help you develop your language skills, your writing skills, as well as your presentation skills. Now you can or you would be able to carry out a library or online research. Now online research is something that you are going to do. I will tell you how to surf on internet once you are there to write for the different purposes, writing different essays. You would be asked to write different kinds of essays, and that's not an easy job. So for understanding that, maybe you would have to read the rewritten material that is available on internet, and we will also see some of the sites which are particularly made for developing your writing practices. They will help you write smaller paragraphs, then we will move on to the longer paragraphs, and then those longer paragraphs will combine together to make you an essay. Organize and deliver an oral presentation. Now the presentation skills will help you first of all format your presentation, create your presentation, select a topic for your presentation, then draft it, then craft it, and then you are going to deliver it to your audience. So your preparation, your creation, and then your presentation, all of the steps will be involved in once we are going to talk about the presentation skills. So these are some rough outcomes that I have talked about, and I expect all of these to cover during our semester, during our lectures. I will try my level best to tell you each and everything that I know, and I'm going to share my knowledge with you, and you are going to enjoy it, hopefully. Now we are going to see that what is an essay. We are going to discuss both of them one by one, essay writing skills and presentation skills. Both of them, there is something that is coming out, that is delivering to the audience. Both of them, they are productive skills. You are producing something. In essay writing, you are writing something that is to go in different hands, and people are going to see that, and people are going to read that, and you are going to, give out your information, what is inside you, to the other audience. In presentation skills, that's other way round, or that's the same way but the other way round. Essay writing has something to do with writing, while presentation skills, that has something to do with speaking. You have to speak, you have to tell what is inside you. In essay, that's the same way. Now let's see the definition, how the dictionary defines essay writing or essay in the simplest way. An essay is an organized collection of your thoughts. Now see, organized collection of your thoughts. As you can see here, organized collection of your thoughts. Here you go. Organized collection of your thoughts means that they are going to be not random. First of all, whatsoever is going to come in your mind is going to follow a proper pattern. They are going to be organized. Now we are going to see that how do you organize things in the writing process on a particular topic. Now essay is not written about the diverse topics. Let's say we have the variety of or the types of styles of writing, of essay writing. Now we are not going to write about each one of them in one essay. Of course, if the essay is descriptive and I am describing something, maybe I am describing that what is life, or I am talking about that what is a computer, or maybe I am talking about that what is English, or maybe I am talking about that what is the importance of English in today's world. So I am going to describe it through evidences. I am going to provide the factual information, not the imaginary information. So the facts are important in your thought presentation, and they are going to be organized. This is how the simplest dictionary definition defines an essay. Now an essay consists of three major parts. So is the paragraph. We are also going to see that how paragraphs are similar to, or how paragraphs are different to essays. Now both of them, they are similar in some ways, and yet they are different in some ways. Paragraph is something small, but it has three parts. It has introduction, it has main body, and it has conclusion. That is your topic sentence, supporting details, and your conclusory sentence. Now these three combine together to make a paragraph. Same goes with an essay. An essay is the breakup of your thoughts in different ways. Your first paragraphs, your initial first paragraphs, they introduce you with the topic, any topic that you have selected for the essay writing. Now this topic, whatsoever that topic is going to be, that is providing you the details, the topic sentence. They are elaborating the topic, in other words. This second sentences, which are following sentences, all of them, they are telling you about the body. That is the main body, which is providing or which is trying to prove the evidence with the supporting details. Now these supporting details are sometimes can be examples, can be the factual information, can be taken from other resource materials that are available in the library, maybe online or maybe digital, anything that is available to you. You add that to your essay, and you try to prove that this is what you are talking about, and you are trying to provide the supporting details for that. In the conclusory paragraph, that you provide the summary of whatsoever you have written in your supporting details. Three of them, they are connected: introduction, main body, and conclusion. Now that there are not, this is not the way that we say that there are only three paragraphs of the essay. Here comes the question. There are not only three paragraphs of an essay. In other words, we mean that there are three parts of an essay. The introductory paragraphs, maybe there are two, maybe there are three. They are the introduction paragraphs. Supporting details are larger. They are more than your introduction, and they are more than your conclusion. So they are larger in number. Once we are going to practice writing our essays, we are going to see that what length of the paragraphs are acceptable, what length paragraphs are not acceptable. So we are going to check, and we are going to see the different varieties of ways, in other words. Alright, let's talk about that what is an essay, and what can be essay like, or what can be the ways of writing an essay. Now essay can be either long or short. As I already said, that there is not specific length of any paragraph. Now in exams you are asked to write a paragraph around 250 to 300 words, and you have to stick to that. But the professional essays that are written for your professional purposes have no lengths. Now shorter or longer, it depends on the thoughts, how much convincing you are. Length of the paragraph is available, or length of the paragraph is dependent on whatsoever you are providing the evidences. Now those evidences or the factual information that you are providing proves to that sticks to the length of the paragraph, and that makes it long and short. So whatsoever details are sufficient, we are talking about the sufficiency, and we are going to talk about the availability of the material. We are also going to talk about the relevancy of the material that is there. So 3 things that we are going to remember once we are going to write a paragraph. Essays can be either serious or humorous. Now essays can be serious, that are written for the serious purposes, or maybe they are talking about the serious issues in our society, and they can also be humorous. Maybe there is an issue in our society and we are trying to prove it through humor. We are adding some element of humor in it so that people are also going to enjoy reading, as well as they are going to read it and they are going to learn some lesson. The way we watch dramas on television, some of them they are really very serious, and you really get you are touched by the scenario whatsoever is going on the screen. But there are some humorous dramas, yet they teach a lesson. So every essay, even that's a serious essay or that's a humorous essay, they tell you a lesson, or they are written for the specific topic. Now they can be formal or they can be informal. It depends on the nature of the essay. That's going to be a formal essay or that's going to be an informal essay, that we are going to discuss in our upcoming lectures. They can describe your opinions or be a synopsis of expert opinion. Now, essay can be a combination of your personal opinions. Now, whatsoever you are going to present that, or whatsoever you are going to present in your essay is going to be wholly solely your own thoughts. Whatsoever you are writing is your opinion and your coming from within you. But there are certain essays which are the synopsis of the expert opinions. Now, this synopsis is something that you have learned or you have studied, or maybe you have observed from different people. Maybe you have read some articles, maybe you have read some different kind of newspapers, maybe you have read some research reports that imposed you or that ask you to write an essay by jotting each and every information of every writer. Pick up that information from maybe from internet, maybe from any magazine, any newspaper, anything, and you jot them down to make an essay that can be the synopsis of the expert opinion. Those bigger people or those renowned personalities who have been talking about that very issue that you want to talk about, you are going to jot them down in your essay, and you are going to write an essay that is based on the expert opinions. Now, let's get back to our course contents. There would be 32 lectures, and of course, there would be 32 topics that we are going to cover. Those 32 topics will be based on essay writing and presentation skills. We are going to make sure that all these essays, you are going to practice each one of the essay with me, and I will make sure that you are going to get all those presentation skills which are there within you, but you need to polish them, because once we say that's a skill is an ability that you learn with the passage of time. That is not inborn, or that is not innate. Now, if I say that he's a born painter, and on the other hand, I say that he is a skillful painter. Now, there is a difference between, or he's a skilled painter. Both of them, in other ways, they are, similar yet different from one another. Innate is something that he has learned, that was within him, that was God gifted. And once I say that he is skilled, it means that there was something within him, but he has polished it, or he has learned it through the passage of time. Now, you are going to, of course, there is, all of you are good communicators, and of course, all of you can write. Now, there is something that we need to polish and we need to see while to improve your essay writing skills and to improve your presentation skills also. Alright, your first lecture would be about language and communication skills that we are going to have right after this lecture. Our very first lecture will talk about all the language skills, all the skills that are there in the language, like listening, which is the receptive skill. Listening is something that you are receiving information through your ear. Now, information is coming into your ear. Now, that information is coming, of course, to hear that information, or after listening that information, you would speak something. Somebody is questioning you. Information is coming in your ear, and you are going to reply to that person. Now, that reply is something that is called speaking. Now, speaking is second thing that comes in your language skill. Everyone knows how to speak. Now, this speaking has something to do with your presentation skills. Now, listening and speaking are both connected. Then comes reading. You are reading something. You are reading a newspaper. Maybe you are watching television and you are reading slides running on the television and you are reading them continuously. Now that the information is coming to you, okay? You are reading a newspaper. You are consuming the information. You are receiving the information. The information is coming in you. Now that you have read everything, you are asked to, rewrite it in your own words maybe. You read for exams, right? You are reading for the exam and tomorrow is your paper, right? Now you are reading in the next day when you are asked to write that, every information is coming to you which you have read yesterday. Now that information that is coming to you that you read yesterday, that was sorted or that was stored in your memory. Now that memory is working to give you that information and you are going to write it down. Now this writing and this reading, both of them are connected. Reading is something, again, a receptive skill, that is your input, and writing is something that is productive skill, that is your output. Let's see the graph to make you understand that how these skills are different or how these skills are familiar or related to each other. Now, if you see, let's move back. Now, if you see, this is listening. On the top left hand side, listening and reading, both of them, they are receptive skills, and speaking and writing, both of them, they are productive skills. Let's see the next slide, which was introduced by the English Club. If you see listening, there is a person listening and then there is a person speaking. Now, input is coming in spoken and output is coming while the person is speaking. Then the next person, he is reading, and then the next person is writing. Input is reading and output is writing. Now the graph is clear to you. Listening and reading, both of them, they become the inputs. They are your receptive skills. They are your receiving skills because you are receiving the information. The information is coming to you. However, your output is that speaking and writing, both of them are producing the information. That is your output. Information is coming out of you. So this is how they become your output skills or your productive skills. Let's talk about our second lecture. In our second lecture, we are going to talk about the writing skill. We are also going to talk about the different writing styles, the formal writing and informal writing. Formal writing are the ones which are composed, which are usually your composed writings or the organized writings. Reports, proposals, letters, memorandums, theses, which have got some specific format to follow, are known as your formal reports. Since they follow a specific format and they have got the specific contents, that's why we call them the formal writing. They are also written for the specific purpose. That's how they are different from the informal writing. Now, informal writings are usually your articles, your essays, and your creative writing and other things. They don't have any specific format, yet they are organized. There is a lot of use of figurative language. However, in the formal writing, you are asked to stick to abbreviations, acronyms, jargons and other things that are there or which are technical terms. In other words, you can add them in your reports and your proposals, letters or anything. Then informal writing is the gist of, or they convey your personal thoughts and feelings. However, formal reports are not like that. We are going to differentiate between two of them in the second lecture, and we are going to see that how writing skill is different, and it is very vast thing that we are going to learn and we are going to have, and we are going to see the variety of writings in our lectures. Now, in the third lecture, we are going to talk about that what is an essay that we have talked about, and we are going to also talk about it in the third lecture thoroughly. We are going to discuss the definition and characteristics, as well as we are going to compare and contrast essay and paragraph. They are similar yet different. This is how we are going to see. We are going to see and compare different essays with different paragraphs, and then we are going to see that how essays are also organized, how paragraphs are also organized. They are similar yet they are different, and they are going to convey you something. They have topic sentences, they have the beginning, then they have the supporting details which are the middle, and then they have closing sentence, that is their ending. Now, writers use essay to describe or define a subject. What is life? Now, if I say that they describe or define a subject, that what is life? In other words, that I am describing or I am trying to define that what is life in terms of everything, in terms of my opinion, my personal opinion. Maybe some renowned scholar has said something about life. So I'm going to gather different kind of information to prove or to describe, or I will help my audience to understand, whosoever is going to read my essay, that what exactly is life and how it has been defined or how it has been described by different people. And in the end, I will draw my own conclusion that how essay writing, how defining life in my opinion is different from others, or maybe similar in a way that I believe the same way others believe that what is life. Now, essays are also written, or writers use essay to compare related items in a subject. The difference between apples and oranges. It means that you are going to compare and contrast two things, apples and oranges, how they are similar yet they are going to different, or they are different from one another. Sometimes they write essay to show cause and effect. Like for example is, if you write it, they will read. So there is one cause, that is if you write it, and then there is an effect, they will read. So it has a cause and it has an effect. For example, the cause of earthquake was so and so. We believe that Islamic belief is different, then there is a scientific belief that is different, then there is Indian myth, and there are other so many beliefs of different people. And earthquake comes, why, and what are the effects of the earthquake? So this is how cause and effect are going to be compared and contrasted in this essay. Write a narrative. Narrative is something telling a story or telling a narration. For example, my summer vacation. So if I tell you about my summer vacation and I narrate my summer vacation, that's going to be something that you are going to really learn. Then writers write essay to explain a process, that how to write an essay. Now, how to write an essay would carry some steps. These steps or this procedure or this manual is going to be, or that is going to, explain you with the process. To deliver an argument, the case against essay questions. So all of the essay writing styles, they are supported with the examples that you are going to study and you are going to see. Critique my least favorite movie. Why my critique would be that why is that movie my least favorite? I am going to pick up all those points in that movie which made that movie least interested, or I became least interested to watch that movie. So this is how, or this is what writers usually write essays for. So this is what our third lecture is going to be all about. In the fourth lecture, we are going to talk about the different writing stages. First of all, pre-writing stage. Before writing stage. Before writing, what do you have to do? What do you have to study? What do you have to think? There are different techniques and there are different strategies before you actually start writing process. Now, pre-writing stage is your free writing. Some people, they are fond of picking up a paper and then start writing randomly. Free ideas, free connections, everything that is coming in their mind, they try to write them on the paper, and then they try to write them on the paper. Let's talk about our lecture number 4. That is the writing process, in which we are going to talk about the pre-writing stage. Now, pre-writing stage is something that is before writing stage. Before writing, what do you have to do? What is coming in your mind? There are some people who are fond of free writing. Now, whatsoever is coming, I was asked to write about a topic. Now, what did I do? I picked up a paper and I started writing. This process of writing is known as free writing, that we are going to discuss in our fourth lecture. Then there is note keeping. Now, whatsoever thought is coming in your mind, I am not going to write it freely. I am going to just make some bullets or make some points of those thoughts that I am going to involve or that I am going to add in my essay while writing. Now, this is known as note keeping. Then there is brainstorming. Maybe you are sitting alone, or maybe you are sitting with your friends. Maybe you are sitting with your father, mother, anyone, and you are brainstorming about the topic. You are trying to gather as many ideas about the topic as you can, and then you are going to gather them and collect them to make an essay. And there is another technique, that is mind mapping. You make mind maps. you make a tree diagram. There is one thought and there are other connections too related to that thought too. Now you are going to collect all of them and you are going to gather them, and then you are going to make a clustering tree diagram or mind map. The second stage is known as writing stage. You collect all your pre-writing stage material and you try to write that in the paragraphs, and you try to compose an essay. Now once you are done with your formatting and once you are done with your composing your writing stage, during your writing stage your first draft is ready. Maybe you reread it yourself, maybe you give it to someone, and then once you are going to get the feedback, if there are any flaws, the third stage is that you are going to rewrite that. Now this rewriting is very important to check out your spelling, grammar, other mistakes that are there, or maybe any relevant material is there or any irrelevant material is there, everything that you are going to check in your writing process. So this is what we are going to discuss in our topic number 4. Our topic number 5 talks about the different types of essays. There are different types of essays, there are varieties of essays, there are varieties of topics that essays are written for. So we are going to see in our types of essays in our lecture number 5 that how essays have different types and how there are different and there is a vast variety of writing. Now there are many different kinds of essays. There are some right in front of you. The first one is descriptive essay, that describes something. You have definition essay, process essay, compare and contrast essay, academic essay, cause and effect essay, narrative essay, argumentative or persuasive essay, critical essay, and expository essay. Now these are all the essay types, and maybe there are many more which we are going to discuss in our lectures, upcoming lectures. In every lecture, we will try to write one essay type. We will try to stick to one essay type so that by the end of the semester, you are able to write anything that you are asked to write. So that will make you a perfect writer. Maybe in the future, you are going to write your own books. Now, our 6th lecture would be writing an essay with the help of an outline. Now, writing an essay is not an easy job. Especially when it comes to writing an organized essay, it's not an easy job. We will learn some techniques also. Now, these techniques will talk about an essay outline, the use of an outline once you are writing an essay. An essay outline is probably the most important friend that you have while writing your essay. Now, you are writing your essay, you have an outline right in front of you, you are going to see that, and that outline is going to help you write a smart essay that you can, send somewhere. Maybe you are going to impress your friends by showing that essay or anything like that. Basically, the outline of the essay is kind of a skeleton. That's a structure for your essay that provides you the framework for your essay writing. This framework by which you will write an essay. Now, you are going to write your essay based on those outlines which you have made. It is difficult to write without an outline. If you are asked to write, as I said, that essay writing is not an easy job, you are going to write an essay with the help of an outline, and we will try our level best that you are going to learn this technique so that you are going to become a good essay writer. In our lecture number 7, we are going to talk about the essay organization. We are going to discuss the common methods of essay beginning, how people begin their essays. Now, there is one traditional style, starting up with the introduction, then you have middle, and then you have conclusion. But in the modern style, the conclusion comes first, and then you provide your conclusion with the facts and figures, and then you come back to the beginning. It happens in the movies, it happens in the dramas, that writers, they have changed the ways of writing. They have changed the ways of presenting themselves. Now, this presentation is something that is going to help you learn the different varieties of beginning, or learn different varieties of ways in which you can begin or you can write an essay. Cohesion. We are going to learn about two things, cohesion and coherence. Now, these two things, they are similar yet different from one another. Cohesion is something which means connecting your ideas together in a logical way, depending on the types of essays. Now, cohesion, in other words, means that each paragraph of the essay is connected to one another. Each thought is connected to the next thought. One paragraph is connected to the next paragraph. For example, I was asked to write an essay on earthquake, and I was talking about the earthquake, and I am particularly asked to write an essay on earthquake in Pakistan. Now, in the first paragraph, I am talking about earthquake in Japan, and in the next paragraph, frequently, just like that, I jumped on my actual topic. Now, this variation or this diversion is something that is going to divert the attention of the reader. They are not going to stick to the particular topic. They are going to divert their attention, and maybe they would be more interested in knowing about the what happened to people in Japan after the earthquake. So this connectivity between the paragraphs, between thoughts is very important. This is what you call cohesion, and we are going to discuss that, and we are going to also see the tactics, and we are also going to see the different strategies, the techniques that you may use to actually connect your ideas and actually convey your ideas together. Then the second thing is coherence. Now, coherence is something which you use pronouns and conjunctions to tie your sentences to one another, or try to tie your ideas to one another, like the words however, therefore, because, and these kind of words, the conjunctions and other words which are there, which are used to connect two sentences or maybe two paragraphs, maybe two ideas, maybe two thoughts. So this is what we are going to talk about in our 7th lecture, and we are going to see that how are they useful and how you can practically use them. Each one of the lecture will be followed by an activity. We will try to see that whatsoever we have learned, how we can actually practically apply in our practical life. Once you are asked to write an essay, maybe in your exam or maybe in the practical life, you would be able to write them easily. In our lecture number 8, we are going to begin with our essay types. The first one is our descriptive essay. In our descriptive essay, we are going to see that how do you define a descriptive essay, and how we are going to help ourselves write a descriptive essay. Now, the descriptive essay provides details about how something looks, feels, tastes, smells, and makes one feel good or sound. Now, it is some kind of a description of something, anything that you are asked to write on. It can also describe what something is and how something happened. So they are going to also talk about what and how questions also. These kind of essays are used a lot for the sensory details. Now, as I said, the sensory details in descriptive essays, your sensations are involved in it. Whatsoever you are imagining, they are involved in it, because this is how you feel about it. This is what you feel about it. So this is what descriptive essay is, because you are describing something. We are also going to see some examples right now so that you get to know that what exactly descriptive essay is. The essays could be a list-like description that provides point-to-point details. Now let's see some examples so that you get to know that what descriptive essay is, or how to describe different things. Now, if you see the example on the slide, the first example says, a tree in my backyard. Now, I am going to go in all the details of the tree which is there in my backyard. Now, that is going to describe each and everything about that tree. So, this is how you describe a thing, a person, maybe anything, person, place, thing, country, anything. That is up to you. A visit to children's ward of a hospital. Now, I am going to describe my visit to a children's ward in a hospital, and I am going to tell in my essay that how was it and what did I learn, and how were the children there, and how was the hospital like, and each and every minute detail that I have observed there, because that's all about your sensations, right? In our next lecture, we are going to talk about the definition essay. A definition essay usually attempts to define something, that you are going to define a specific term. As your descriptive essay helps you to describe something, the definition essay will help to define something, to provide a definition for something. Like, for example, there are some abstract concepts like love, honesty, family, hate, everything. So we are going to help ourselves provide the definition for those words, or personal point of view or opinions, and we are going to develop the definition for those abstract concepts. It could try to pin down the meaning of a specific word or define an abstract concept. So this is how we are going to learn how to write a definition essay. In our topic number 10, we are going to talk about the process essay. It describes how to do something or tell how something happens. Now, if you see the line, you would see that it describes a process. You are going to describe that process over the period of time. When readers finish this type of essay, they get to know how to do something and they didn't know before. So this is how they are going to see that if you are going to help people understand the process of something, this is that kind of essay. We are going to see some examples which are going to help us understand that what this process essay is all about, and we are going to learn throughout our semester that how essay types will help you and polish your writing skills, and you are going to become different from different people. In our 11th lecture, we will thoroughly study compare and contrast essays. Now, this compare and contrast essay discusses the similarities and differences between things, people, concepts, and places, etc. Now, we are going to see that compare and contrast essay, how it compares different things and how it contrasts different things, and we are going to also help ourselves write that essay too. A comparison essay usually discusses the similarities between two things, and a contrast essay discusses the differences. So this is how maybe you are asked to write only a comparison essay, and on the other hand you are asked to write a contrast essay. So you are going to see both of them, and you are going to help yourself write these kind of essays easily. Now, there are some examples that you can see on the slide also. The likeness and differences between two places, like New York and Los Angeles. You are going to compare and contrast Los Angeles and New York City. The similarities and differences between two religions, like Christianity and Islam. So you are going to contrast and compare these two religions, and you are going to, find out that which one is more appealing and all that. Two people like my brother and myself, you are going to compare and contrast two people, my brother and myself. So you are going to try to see the similarities between two of them and the differences between two of them. There is nothing about these things that we are going to draw your personal opinion that which one is better. In this kind of an essay, you are only providing the hard fast rules of the similarities and the differences between two things or two places or maybe two cities. In our 12th lecture, we are going to talk about the cause and effect essay, which explains why or how any event happened and what resulted from the event. As I described earlier in my previous slides, that how cause and effect essay are written, the causes of the earthquake, for example, and then what that earthquake affected in. So this is how you are going to learn, or you are going to write the cause and effect essay. A cause and effect essay usually discusses the reason why something happened. An effect essay discusses what happens after a specific event or circumstances. Examples of the cause and effect essay are why a volcano erupts and what happens afterwards. In our 13 lectures, we are going to talk about the narrative essay that tells a story. A narrative essay tells a story, and it can also be called a short story because you are telling them a narration. They are conversational in style because you are involved in a conversation. So they are conversational in style. In other words, they tells of a personal experience. Maybe that's about my visit to the children's yard. Maybe that's about my visit to Lahore. Maybe that's about my visit to Los Angeles or anything else. Now there are some examples. My brothers and my fishing trips. Now you are narrating them. You are telling a story that we went there in the morning and we really enjoyed the sun coming out of mountains, coming back from the mountains, everything, each and every minute details that you want to add in and that made you pleased or maybe you felt bad about them. That's a narration of your personal ideas, of your personal emotions, of your feelings that you felt and that you had. A boring trip to a grocery store, maybe your mother dragged you to a store and you had to buy something and you say that was really a bad visit or that was a really boring visit for me. My near-death experience at the beach. Now you were swimming on the beach and you were about to drown, and that was your near-death experience, and that you are going to narrate in the form of an essay. Argumentative or the persuasive essay, which help to persuade the person, as the word itself indicates that you are going to help persuade the person. An argumentative essay is the one that attempts to persuade the reader to writer's point of view. Now, whatsoever you are writing, argumentative essay will make sure that the reader of your essay is going to get persuaded by whatsoever you are writing, whatsoever you are saying. They are going to get persuaded with your personal thoughts, with your personal opinions. But this is how this essay is going to help you deliver something that is different from other people, yet you are going to appeal to the audience and you are going to grab their attention. The writers can either be serious or funny. Now that's up to you, that while writing argumentative essay, either you want to be a serious one or you want to add in a humor. This is how you add puns in the words. But always try to convince the reader of the validity of his or her opinion. So this is how you leave the margin for the audience to understand that how you are going to make them analyze that either you were right or wrong in your personal opinions. Now, there are some examples that you can see on the slides also. He or she should use public transportation instead of driving. Now, you are providing the facts. You are trying to prove that with the facts. Maybe those facts are humorous, or maybe those facts are serious that you are going to add in your essay to make sure that the audience is going to get persuaded with that. Cats are better than dogs. You are going to provide the information, or you are going to provide those details which make cats different from dogs, and you are going to prove it to your audience that how both of these animals, they are different from one another. In our 15th lecture, we are going to talk about the critical essays. Critical essay analyzes the strengths and weaknesses and methods of someone else's work. For example, there was a work that has been done before by someone, and you are going to critically evaluate it. Now, that critical evaluation of that essay, of that maybe article, of maybe that movie, you have watched a movie and you are writing a critical paper on that, that would become your critical essay. But that would be based on the facts and figures that you are going to present in your essay. A critical essay can be written about another essay, story, book, poem, movie, or work of art. So this is how you are going to see that critical essay can have that criticism on any other essay, story, book, poem, movie, or any other work of art, maybe a painting. Now, critical essay may analyze how Shakespeare presents the character Hamlet in his play Hamlet. Now, you must have read in your drama 1 the character of Hamlet. Now, the critical essay will talk about it, how Shakespeare presents the character. You are going to critically evaluate it. You are going to try to find out the strengths and weaknesses of that character, and then you are going to present that. And this is what we are going to practice that in our upcoming lectures also. The strengths and weaknesses of the movie Bowl. You must have watched the movie Bowl in Pakistan. Now, what were the strengths and what were the weaknesses? That is one critical evaluation of that movie. The use of color in Monet's painting Sunflowers, or maybe the painting Mona Lisa. So you are going to see that what kind of colors are there, are they good or are they bad, are they appealing, are they not? So everything that is there, you are going to critically evaluate that. So this is about the 15th lecture. Now let's move on to the 16th lecture, that is expository essays, which are the essays that explain something with facts and as opposed to the personal opinion. Now, in other kinds of essays, you have the margin of adding in the personal opinion. But in the expository essay, you don't have that margin. You have to prove that with the help of facts. Only the factual information will be there. No personal comments will be there, or no personal judgment would be there. Sample styles includes a paper that analyze events, ideas, objects, or written works. For example, the evaluation of a thesis, expository essay. You are providing the factual information that is there. Papers that describe a process, a paper have been published and it is describing the process, so that is providing you the factual information. Paper that explain or describe a historical event. So this is how These are different kinds or different styles of expository writing that we are going to discuss. In our 17th lecture, we are going to talk about the academic essay or academic paper. The academic essay is generally written in response to a question. Now, that question can be your problem statement, which you are going to solve in your academic essay. That is your academic paper. You are expected to present a point of view expressed in a thesis statement that is informed by the research. Maybe you are asked to write the hypothesis, maybe you are asked to write the problem statement, and then you are going to prove that in your essay. Your aim is to develop a supporting argument for a thesis you propose. So you are going to help yourself write an academic paper, an academic essay, to make sure that you are going to provide the supporting argument for that. We are going to discuss this essay thoroughly because this is very important for your whole career. Now here we are with our second topic of our course, that is presentation skills. As I said, that presentation is something that is your output, that is your productive skill. Writing is also your productive skill, but presentation is something in which you are also there. Along with the material that you are presenting in the form of a slide, you are presenting yourself, you are presenting the organization, you are presenting your family, you are presenting everything. So you become the representation of everything, and the whole thing lies on your shoulder. Now you are going to prove yourself as well as the organization, or as well as the any institution with whom you belong, to whom you belong rather. In our presentation skills, first of all, we will talk about what is a presentation, what exactly is a presentation. Then we will talk about that, is presentation just a communication? Presentation means that you are going to inform them, or you are only going to communicate to the people. Is it only one-way traffic, or the other people, they are also going to talk to you? This is what we are going to study, and this is how we are going to see that presentation skills are similar to communication or not. Then we will also talk about planning your presentation, that how to plan your presentation and how to make a presentation. This is very important question that we are going to discuss in our 18th lecture, that we will see that how to make an effective presentation, and we are going to thoroughly discuss the techniques that can be used to make an effective presentation. There is a great saying that great speakers are not born, they are trained. So you will be trained to present, you will be trained to actually present yourself as well as your institution. So don't worry about that. We are going to have thorough discussions, and we are going to have thorough sessions on that, so that you are going to learn how to present or how to become a good presenter. Then in our 19th lecture, we will talk about the different types of presentations. Presentations usually are business-like presentations, maybe presentations for the classroom, maybe presentations for the proposal distribution, maybe presentations for the paper presentation, maybe a thesis presentation, or anything else. That's called your defense. Now there are different types of presentations that we are going to discuss thoroughly in our 19th lecture. Some are informative, which are used to present research paper. You have conducted a research, you are doing your thesis of your master's level maybe, or you are doing your thesis of MPhil or maybe PhD. Now that you have gathered all the information and you are coming up with your own solutions and findings and recommendations, you are going to inform people about whatsoever you have done, and these are your findings and these are your recommendations for the future researchers. Usually they are kind of the paper presentations which are conducted, or you can present them in different seminars, in different conferences and other platforms which are available for you. The second type of the presentation is demonstrative presentation, in which you show how to do something. So that's the demo of something. Maybe I give you a demo of how to deliver a presentation. So this demonstration of how to deliver a presentation will become a demonstrative presentation. It is followed by a procedure. So if I am asked to deliver a presentation, that how to deliver a presentation on the topic that how to deliver a presentation, I would tell you from point number 1 that how to come in how to make yourself relaxed, how to face audience, how to develop rapport with the people who are sitting in the whole circle, how to look eye to eye, how to involve the attention of the audience, how to involve your audience while they are watching your slides, what kind of text fonts you are supposed to use for making your slides. So my ways of telling you that how to make a presentation has got all these steps. Now these steps will be ending up with the conclusion, and in the conclusion I will be telling you the whole summary of whatsoever I have talked about. So this is following a proper procedure, or this is following a proper pattern. Now third form is the persuasive essay. You are trying to persuade someone. Maybe you are working in the business, maybe you are working in the institute, and you are asked to go and sell your product or introduce your product, or to persuade the attention of the audience. That is a try to change the way you think about a subject or issue. Maybe that's the kind of personal opinion about something. You are trying to persuade people towards something. Maybe people think that, let's take an example of mobile phones. In the mobile phones, maybe some people, they think that Nokia company is not working good, so and so company is working better than Nokia, right? Now you are going to help them, persuade them towards that Nokia is far better than so and so company. So this persuasion is some kind of information that you have picked up an issue from the society, and you are trying to, persuade them towards that. Now inspirational topics or inspirational presentations, these speeches are designed to make your audience move. That doesn't mean that they are going to move from one place to the other. It means that you are going to move them, actually move their thoughts, actually move their opinions, so they are really moved by whatsoever you have presented. In other words, that they are motivated towards something. So these kind of presentations are also known as motivational speeches. I hope you are enjoying the course outline, and I hope that the course contents are appealing and you are going to enjoy listening to everything that we are going to talk about in our course. The 20th lecture is going to talk about the creating the presentation. Now presentation is not something that you make, it is something that you create. So creating something needs your need analysis. You need to visit different people, or you need to talk to different people to find out that how to do that, right? You are assigned a topic, and you try to see that how people think about it, and what things you are supposed to add in the presentation, and which things you are going to omit from the presentations that we are going to talk thoroughly in our 20th lecture. Then writing the basic outline. Now this outline or the agenda of the presentation is very important, and we will see that how to write it in our 20th lecture. Then researching, writing and editing, that how to gather the information, maybe from library resources, maybe from online, maybe from internet, or any other resources that are available. And other so many components that we are going to discuss while creating the presentation. In the 21st lecture, we are going to talk about the presentation sequence, that is creation, preparation and presentation. Now these three steps of preparing your presentation will be discussed thoroughly, so that we are going to discuss that how you are going to see that these three can be polished or can be developed through the passage of time. Now in your 22nd lecture, we are going to talk about the verbal communication skills, which will add your verbal communication. That is the way you are speaking, and the way how you are speaking, your grammar, your pronunciation, your punctuation, everything. So we are going to see that how you are going to present yourselves in the form of verbal, that is vocal and visual as well. So we are going to see that how verbal communication skills are important while you are presenting in front of the audience. Now we are going to discuss the similarities and the differences between listening and hearing. They aren't the same things. Then asking questions, communicating with power, and other so many elements that are there. Now if I say that listening and hearing are not similar, we are going to prove it by telling you that listening is something that you hear with, that you listen with attention, where your attention is involved. For example, there is a fan and the voice is continuously coming, and I am talking with my teacher, or we are discussing my thesis. Now this conversation which I am talking with my teacher is listening. Fan is also moving and the voice is also coming, and I am trying to avoid that. I am not listening to that. In other words, I am hearing that. So the voices which are coming to you but you are not actually paying attention to them are known as hearing, while the things which you concentrate on and which you give your concentration to are known as listening. So this is what we are going to talk about in our 22nd lecture and other so many things. In our 23rd lecture, we will talk about the non-verbal communication in presentation. Non-verbal communication basically adds your gestures, your body gestures, your eye contact, your hand movements. Presentations are not delivered while sitting. Presentations are always delivered while standing, in a standing posture. We will see how to make yourself stand tall in front of the audience, and how to make your body language comfortable for them, so that they are going to listen to what you are saying and they are not going to get disrupted with your body movements, maybe your facial expressions, maybe your hand gestures, and maybe your eye contact. So body language that we are going to discuss, the signals you send to others maybe through your eyes, maybe through your body, maybe through your eye contact, anything. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. So non-verbal communication is something that doesn't count that what are you saying, because what you are saying is your verbal communication. Now how you are saying involves your speaking as well as your body language. So you are going to see that it's how you are going to say it. This is what we are going to talk about in our 23rd lecture. In our 24th lecture, we are going to talk about the use of paraverbal communication during presentation. Now, paraverbal communication is something, the ways of saying things. We are going to check varieties of different examples. We are going to also see different kinds of videos. We are also going to see different kinds of presentations where people get confused with whatsoever they were saying. This stress, intonation, and pitch of your voice, your stress on different words which need focus or which need attention, and each and everything that we are going to discuss in our 24th lecture. In our 25th lecture, we are going to see that how visual aids are important for our presentations, and how we are going to create effective visual aids for our presentations. They can be charts, they can be different diagrams, they can be on the flip charts, they can be graphs, they can be pictures, they can be models, like demonstration models that you use on the table, or anything like that. So we are going to learn that how to create effective visual aids. Now in our 26th lecture, that's going to be an interesting lecture for all of you as well as me. We are going to enjoy it, and we are going to see that how actually practically you can make effective presentations. There are some techniques that I'm going to share with you, and I hope they are going to be very, very helpful for you throughout your life. There are some do's and don'ts in preparing the effective presentations. We all are capable of working on PowerPoint slides, but some of us are really very competent enough to understand that how to make a impressive presentation. So we are here to see that how to make a impressive presentation, and we will make sure that you are going to learn that too. Now there are some do's and don'ts. The slide selection, that how to make your slides visible for your audience. This is what we are going to learn in this lecture. Then there are some ground rules, what kind of ground rules you should make for your presentation, so that that is going to become audience centered only. Then how you are going to analyze the font of your presentation, the font size, the font styles, different things that we are going to discuss in our presentation. Then we are going to discuss the color schemes. This is a very important thing that most of people do not see while making the presentation, but you will learn through in this lecture. You will learn that how to make attractive presentations and how to select the color schemes for those presentations. Then there are some text tips that I will give you, and then there is use of bullets and spelling and grammar and other things that we are going to discuss, which you are supposed to do, or there are few things that you are not supposed to do during your presentations. So you will make your presentations effective, and I will discuss thoroughly all the techniques with you. Now, choosing your delivery methods, that we are going to discuss that what kind of methods you are going to use while actually delivering your presentation. There are some basic methods, however, there are some advanced methods also that we are going to discuss in our presentation, and there are some basic criteria to be considered. The moderate method that you can choose for your presentation. So some people, the stage fear is also there, and maybe you are not very comfortable with the advanced methods. We will make sure that whatsoever method you are opting for, we are going to make sure that you are going to learn that and you are going to put your foot down for an effective presentation. Now, avoid from the boss. Preparing mentally. Now, mentally prepare yourself for the presentation. Start thinking of that I have to deliver a presentation this Friday, or I have to deliver this presentation this Thursday at so and so time. So you are mentally preparing yourself for the presentation. Now, that mental preparation is along with the material that you are collecting. Now that you have collected some material, you are trying to study that and you are going to observe that, or you are going to digest that. Digest that material in you and try to get mentally prepared that which things you will focus on more and which things you won't focus. So this is how you are going to, describe and divide between different things. How to prepare yourself, look confident in front of the crowd. Now, everyone is not good enough to face the crowd or make a good eye contact with the crowd and, facing audience. Now, we are going to see that which deficiencies are there, what are the fears which are there while you are facing the audience, and we are also going to check out the solutions for them also. In our 29th lecture, we are going to pumping it up a notch. So we are going to make them laugh a little. Whom? Your audience, of course. We are going to see the varieties of ways in which you can make your audience laugh or make them smile while before actually, starting your presentation. Then maybe you can ask them a question in the beginning that is going to help you make them understand that what you are going to talk about in your, or what is the topic of your presentation. Then there are topics, and then there are techniques like encouraging discussion and dealing with questions, how to deal with questions. If there is some that is coming within the lecture, during the presentation, how you are going to do that. Our 30th lecture will be about overcoming nervousness. Now, this nervousness is always there. Whatsoever age you belong to, this nervousness is always there, because you don't know that what the next audience is. Usually you are asked to go and visit different places. You don't know the audience, what kind of audience they are going to be, and you get nervous and you get confused, and this is how you are going to, lose your confidence. We are going to see the varieties of ways in which you can overcome your nervousness. We will also watch the videos in which people were nervous and then they overcome their nervousness. How? This is what we are going to see. In our 31st presentation, we are going to see some sample presentations. There are going to be some slideshows, and I'm also going to discuss them thoroughly with you. There are some famous people like Steve Jobs who have delivered the variety of presentations, and we are going to see his presentations because they are the best of all. In the last lecture, in the 32nd lecture, we are going to see the sample videos and sample videos of again the presentation skills, different varieties of presentations, informative and the other ones, persuasive ones, business-like presentation, paper academic presentation, or anything, and then we are going to discuss them thoroughly. So that was all about the lecture contents. All the lectures, there would be 32 lectures in which we will be talking about essay writing and presentation skills. I am going to make sure that I am going to share every information that I have with me with you, so that you are going to learn that how to write the effective essays and how you can actually write for the audience, and how to present we are also going to learn the presentation skills techniques, and we will make sure that by the end of the semester, while practicing essay writing and presentation skills, you become a best essay writer as well as a best presenter. Thank you.